a box and it cannot go on any longer. Hang it up, flat screen. I would have dragged you regardless. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys asked for this video, and I am here to give you the tea. Now, I posted my raw, unfiltered opinions on both of these topics over on my Patreon, which is As Told by Kenya. Join the Patreon family. We do Zoom parties every Friday. It's a fun time over there. But I do want to give a video for my YouTube girlies so we can just discuss the mess in the comments. It's been a lot of mess. These past few days, this past week. And I just want to talk about it. I'm just going to run down the list of mess. So first, we got to begin with Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey and her white feminism. Now, I feel like I say this about a lot of, like, the girlies. I'm always like, I don't listen to their music. And then y'all probably like, Kim, what music do you listen to? I don't listen to Lana Del Rey music. I'm actually well documented on not listening to Lana Del Rey music. I don't think her music is bad, though. Some of the girls I talk about, I actually don't like their music. I think their music is bad. I don't think her music is bad. It's just not for me. But I do think Lana Del Rey makes good music. And when people are a fan of Lana Del Rey, I get it. Like, I get exactly what you're a fan of. I think she makes good music, just not music for me. Now, Lana Del Rey has always been that, like, quirky girl. Like, she was never like the mainstream girl. Like, she never was the mainstream girl. I never even thought that Lana Del Rey was trying to make mainstream music. So this little soliloquy she had, this little moment she had was bizarre to me. It was bizarre to me. And the best way to describe this little thing besides racist is tone deaf. I don't think Lana Del Rey even understands how racist this is, like how racist this comes across. So Lana Del Rey it is the dead of night. Like, it is the dead of night. And Lana Del Rey was like, these black girls, they're on my nerves. These black girls are on my nerve. No. She literally goes, question for the culture. By the way, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard anyone ever say when addressing anything. Question for the culture. Question for the Negroes. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know if she says question for the culture, if that's her thing, but it's so funny. For your first interaction with Lana Del Rey outside of her music to be her saying question for the culture and then to come with all this bullshit, it was so funny to me. So she says question for the culture. Why all these Jezebels get to be #1 on the charts and I'm over here making music about what I'm making and ain't nobody checking for the kid. That is how this came across. Here's the thing. Let me be devil advocate for 2 seconds. I know what Lana Del Rey wanted to say. I know exactly what Lana Del Rey wanted to say, what she maybe thought she was saying, but we're not doing that here. I am not about to be here. This is what she wanted. No, I'm going to go off of what you said. And the problem with what you said, of course, I could play the game. That Lana Del Rey wants feminism to have different facets, and she wants to be able to make the music she wants to make without critique in the way that other people make music without critique. She wants her form of feminism to be mainstream, 100%. The problem with her statement is the self-serving. Lana Del Rey is a white woman, so anytime you speak up like, I want my piece of the feminism pie, it comes across moot because you're a white woman. Like, feminism literally caters to you. White feminism is about you, and you do not have to be white to be a part of white feminism. There are black women, Hispanic women, Asian women who all subscribe to white feminism. White feminism basically injustice, when you put the feelings of white women, the desires of white women, the victories of white women above anyone else. It doesn't matter what anyone else is going through. White women deserve to have victories. That is white feminism at its root. Like, no one else matters. All that matters is white women and what they go through. What they go through is the only thing that matters, and everyone else needs to fall in line and make sure that white women are thrusted to the position of, greatness. And that is red ass. This red ass, all of those girls over there don't deserve a thing. They don't deserve a thing until I get mine. And the reason why it reads that way, because before getting your point across, you go to name other women first. And it's not out of chance that it's the colors. Here's the thing. The gag of it is Ariana Grande and Camila are both white. But here's the thing. Lana Del Rey didn't know that because these types of women don't care. Camila and Ariana are seen as others. Ariana is seen as an other. A lot of people don't even know Ariana is a white woman. So she's seen as an other. Camila is a white Cuban, but as long as they hear the word Cuban and they put you in the other category. Beyonce is black, Doja is biracial, and Kehlani is also biracial. Well, no, she's multiracial, right? So all of these women are others in Lana Del Rey's eyes. Therefore, she put all the others together and then said why they get to have stuff and I don't. And I don't understand why she didn't realize you putting that statement right there makes everything else you say null and void. Pointing out a bunch of other women to uplift yourself is never it. It is never it. It is never it. Your point is, especially when you come from a place of privilege, feminism will always be for white women. It will always be for white women. And then, so once she's getting dragged, she's like in her comment section, she's like, I don't know what y'all are saying, but I just meant like there needs to be a place in feminism for us delicate women. That is when it got really like, okay, you playing with me now, Lana. You playing with me right now, Lana. What do you mean us delicate women? What about Beyonce, Doja, Kehlani, Ariana, and Camila is not delicate? These are the words. These are buzzwords. These are trigger words. Delicate. What about Lana Del Rey comes across as delicate that doesn't make the rest of the girlies she mentioned delicate? And then she put out her I said what I said and you can be mad about it, and she doubled down on this delicate word. It's not adding up. The word delicate, white women are seen as delicate. Just on simply having white skin, you are seen as delicate. And everyone else is seen as non-delicate. So when you're using Beyonce, Kehlani, and Doja, women who, we're going to drag Doja in a second. Y'all already know what I came here to do. So when you start talking about those women, it comes across as racist. And you can say in your next one, oh, I don't want to turn this into a race war. I don't want to do anything like that. But that's what you did. That word delicate is so triggering. And then, not to mention, you only did this because you saw Doja and Beyonce and Kehlani and Ariana Grande and Camila on the charts. Let's talk about how you're using the time where all of these women, by the way, Camila's name was a little too close to Beyonce for my taste. Let's be clear on that. I am not dying on the Camila hill at this point, but since she said her name, we can throw it, but no, that was a little too, I don't even know why Camila and Beyonce's name need to be in the same sentence. That was all putting off rip. So anyways, I don't understand why you needed to put those women's names there when those are the women who are seeing success, to then say, boom, when my stuff comes out, y'all need to support me, as if those women having things are like an exception to the rule. Like, why they get to have stuff, if they get to have stuff, I get to too. Not thinking that maybe Doja, Beyonce, and Ariana Grande just make good music. Then maybe they just make, Kehlani is getting what she's getting because her album was good, or Beyonce is Beyonce, Doja is Doja, and Ariana Grande is Ariana Grande. Like, maybe they deserve those things. Maybe they deserve, so to shit on their feminism, who they are as women, to think that should uplift you. Like, hey, if they get to have something, I get to have something too. You don't see the problem with that, because you have a point. It's somewhere in there is a point, and Lana Del Rey is in there making some point. I see in there a point somewhere, but it's the way you went about it that was very half-stepping and rude and very racist. Like, it went, then the delicate, you saw them at the top of the charts, and you said, I'm upset. I'm upset that winning, and I'm not right now. But Lana Del Rey has seen success. Like, Lana Del Rey, you were nominated for Album of the Year. Look, you've seen success because you are a white woman. So then don't run around and be like, there needs to be a place for me in feminism. And someone tell Lana Del Rey third wave feminism happened in the 90s. Like, and she like let that one go. Let the third wave feminism has come and gone. We have moved on to like 3 other ways. But anyway, you can have it, Lana. Now Doja. Doja. You gotta explain this to me, sis. And maybe by the time this video goes up, Doja has spoken her piece and, you know, everything ain't what it seems. But this looking bad. Today is Saturday, May 23rd. On Saturday, May 23rd at 3:08, this is looking bad, Doja. This is looking bad, Doja. If you don't know, Doja Cat been out here ha-ha and kikiing with the KKK and the alt-right. And I need answers. You want to know something interesting about this whole Doja Cat situation? Number one, Doja Cat needs therapy. But it sparks a very interesting question about the things that biracial people, so people who are like, have one white parent and one black parent, the things that they have to do to fit into white culture, because we always talk about, which I've always, how many times has Kenya come on here and said, we need to allow biracial people to be biracial, because something very harmful happens when biracial people have to decide, I either need to be black or I either need to be white, because I always say this. Y'all know when a biracial person says they didn't fit in with the white crowd and they didn't fit in with the black crowd, there is something distinctly different between that black crowd and that white crowd. The black crowd does not accept a biracial person because they're being rude. They're being rude and they don't want to hang out with people who are not like them. That is something that children do. It's terrible. They shouldn't do it. But let me tell you a little something about this white group. This white group is not accepting the biracial person because they're racist. There are 2 different things at play when the biracial person says, I didn't fit in with either side of who I was. 2 totally different reasons are happening as to why the biracial person didn't fit into that. And we always hear the story about how the biracial person had to assimilate to black culture to fit in with black people. But we never really hear the story about what the biracial person has to do to fit in with the white people who didn't accept them. Now, I'm not talking about the white people who do accept biracial people. So the non-racist one, not talking about that. I'm talking about those biracial people, because at the same time, there are black people who accept biracial people. So I'm not talking about the people who do accept I'm talking about that group who doesn't accept biracial people. Let's talk about what they have to do to fit in with that white side, because this is where we get a Doja Cat. This is where we get Doja Cat having to be literally like, she has to be like a house slave to these alt-right people, because the videos are crazy. If you haven't seen the videos, they are crazy. If you haven't seen her in the Reddit pages, they are crazy. Now, who knows what's the Reddit page? You know, all this is somewhat alleged. If you haven't seen it, woo, Chile. Like, I can't even explain it to you. I'm sure by now maybe Doja Cat has released a statement. I am so interested to hear what this statement is going to be, because that's how bizarre this is. But if you, Earth Mother, she was talking about, because she's a biracial woman, and I will be so interested to hear you guys' biracial stories down below, because I think this is something that is not uncommon. Doja Cat is old. Like, she was in these things 6 days ago. So, like, she's sick and shut in. Like, we can't even ignore, like, something's really wrong over there, because she was doing this the other day. But my biracial girls who grew up like trying to search for white acceptance, I would be very interested to hear your story. Like, is this a common thing? Like, you having to literally be racist and literally be a white supremacist in order to fit in with the white people who don't want you around. So because they don't like you because you're biracial. So you have to really be like them and to be accepted. And so I will be very interested to see how often this happens, because Doja needs therapy. She needs therapy. And I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about she didn't grow up with black people. That's that's why she this way. That explains it, but it doesn't excuse it, my love, because you could grow up in the middle of buttfuck Idaho and never see a black person in your life. It don't change the fact that morally you should not be out here being a white supremacist. That don't change that nothing. There's no amount of excusing being a white supremacist or being a part and keep king with white. There's nothing to excuse that. There's absolutely nothing that can excuse that, because that's strange. That is strange behavior. Like, seeing you on these webcams is strange. Like, this goes beyond tweets. This is strange. Like, you're participating in anti-black rhetoric and participating in people making fun of black people, but you're half black. And I know why you did it, but it's just like the Lana Del Rey thing. I'm not about to sit here and try to make sense out of something that is nonsensical. Like, what is going on, Doja? And we see here, dancing and her saying the N-word, thinking Doja one of us. And the gag is, and that's why maybe life would be a little bit better for all people, specifically biracial people, if we accepted them for what they are. We wouldn't be so shocked. We wouldn't be so shocked and so surprised. But I am so curious to see what her excuse is for this. I am so curious to hear why she says she was out here doing this. I am so interested to hear why she was doing this, because I was baffled. I like Doja. So this was a lot to take in. Like, the Stan accounts are closing on her. It's just a lot, and it's weird. Like, above it all, it's weird. It is weird. Some strange things are happening around here. Like, this is all strange. But Doja, you gotta explain this one to me. I usually mind my business, but this is a strange one, Doja. This is strange. Anyways, that is the end of my video. I do love you guys so much. For all you earring gone. For all you people who are like, Kenya, how did your twist out come out? I wore it in twist for a few days, and then I just took them out and I separated them. So Kenya, this is how they came out. For all you people who are wondering about my natural hair video, this is pretty much how it came out. Like, anyways, I do love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.